Sephiroth is here, looking evil and cool as hell with a well-balanced toolkit. He's a very simple sword character that relies on your sword fundamentals for him to be good. Having good spacing for good shield pressure and a good understanding of how it conditions the opponent to play next is mainly what Sephiroth will be taking advantage of and what this guide will be going through. His strengths are clear: extremely long range, good power, good shield break setups, good edge guarding game, good recovery, good ledge trapping, average mobility, and one-winged angel being a combat mechanic which increases his mobility, strength, giving you super armor on smash attacks, as well as you get an additional double jump to work with, all of which help him out tremendously. Sephiroth's real strengths, however, will only be displayed once your spacing is on point, and if you can make the correct reads to deny space and hold stage control with all the different tools that you have, as without that he'll feel stiff and underwhelming. This is also why the character has a combat mechanic, since he plays on over time, understanding the opponent's game plan and preferred options to better know where to place his committal moves and cover the right spots. His two biggest weaknesses are also very clear. Not only is he very light, but he's also got a terrible out of shield game. His grab and dash grab are extremely low range, and none of them kill, meaning he won't really have anything to quickly try killing with out of shield. So naturally, he'll have a hard time against rushdown at close range with good shield pressure, as well as effective projectile pressure that can transition into close range pressure. His main out of shield options will instead be neutral air, which is decent and can lead into combos, rolling, or jumping away to try outspacing the opponent, meaning anti-airing him before he swings will be an important part of the game. Before I step into neutral, there are a few things that you'll need to know. Sephiroth will be using his sword in two ways. He has stab moves and slash moves. Stab moves will have a sweet spot at the very tip of the blade, while the slash moves will have a sweet spot just above the middle of the sword. It's hard to determine exactly when his wing will come out, but generally speaking, if you're at the same stock, it'll be anything from 80 till around 100% depending on if your opponent is at low percent or high percent. The numbers aren't completely accurate, so just keep that in mind. Having the wing out will also make everything Sephiroth has at least one frame safer against shield. His neutral special is pretty simple. There are 3 charges to his projectile. Flare is just a simple projectile that can be used to try forcing a few matchups to approach you. Mega Flare will only go halfway and explode at the end, and Giga Flare will travel even less distance but provide a really strong and big explosion, both of which will mostly be used for ledge trapping. If you hold the B button, you can cancel the charge at any time with a shield, jump, roll, or grab. Most of the time, however, you should be jumping as a projectile can condition jumps, as well as you can use this for B reversing and mixing up your landing. Just keep in mind that your charge will not be stored. The projectile can be reflected, but the explosion can't, so be mindful of Sephiroth's spacing, as well as you can't really hit the projectile to cancel it out. Down special is Scintilla, which is a counter in front of Sephiroth, as he can still be hit from above, below, or behind. If the counter is missed, the sparkling hits will still come out, meaning it's very committal and not something you want to use too much in neutral or on stage. It also won't counter moves that are too strong, but it'll still block it. The exceptional thing about this counter is that once the opponent gets countered recovering, they will be stuck in place and they will always get hit. There will be no chance of potentially getting around it as there is with other counters. Up special can be pressed quickly for Blade Dash, being a quick and safe recovery, or hold the B button a bit longer for Octaslash, making it go slightly further while also providing a ton of huge slashes that can be close to impossible to challenge unless you have a counter. And even if you have a counter, recovering from below will typically be safe, but not completely unbeatable. You can angle this recovery in any direction, meaning Blade Dash can potentially be used as a landing mix-up as it has little lag, as well as a ledge option to try getting past an opponent. Octaslash from the ledge should only be used to hard punish the opponent if there is an opening, as if they shield, it'll be an incredibly laggy move and not worth risking most of the time. While recovering from below with Octaslash, it'll typically be best to first reverse the recovery, then angle it up, as it can scoop opponents from really far away and end up killing really early, forcing them to respect it. But while it is something that you have to respect, it'll also be something that you can beat before it comes out, as there's a bit of startup to it. You can also charge up Octaslash while on stage towards the ledge, which can 2-frame because of its huge hitbox. Just make sure it'll be worth it in the matchup, as if it's not, you'll get hard punished. Then there's Side Special, Shadow Flare, which is the only really complex thing about the character. There are 3 levels of charge to the move. Level 1 will add 1 sphere, level 2 adds 2, and level 3 adds 3. The longer you charge the move, the longer the range will be on the initial hit, as well as the initial damage will grow with the charge. No matter what level you add, the spheres will last for around 4 seconds, and visually, once they are diagonally around you, they'll start hurting you. The launch will always be away from Sephiroth. Once you charge the move, you can also release it in the opposite direction. You can also keep adding spheres to the opponent, and depending on what level of charge was added, the timer will increase anything from a second to 3 seconds extra, as well as hitting the opponent with anything will slightly delay the timer by a few frames as well. One problematic thing about the move is that if you hit it too close, you'll still be vulnerable for a quick attack, so make sure you keep it ranged. Ideally, you'll want to try timing it with a launch so that the opponent dies even earlier off stage or off the top. In theory, you could also do some crazy combos, but it's something you'll want to tunnel vision on, and instead just go with the flow and be ready for it if it's called for most of the time. Instead, it's a bit more important to use this as a conditioning move, not just how the opponent tries avoiding the initial application of the move, but also keeping track of how the opponent starts acting while the spheres are on them. Now, let's talk about neutral and how you generally want to play Sephiroth. First of all, you'll want to learn how to jump and land your forward air, back air, and neutral air with good timing and spacing, so it hits low to the ground. Whether you do it from a short hop or full hop is up to you and should be kept as a mix-up. Neutral air will be more so for close range interactions whenever it'll be too close to swing your sword, as your sword swings have a lot of landing lag at close range and will get punished, while neutral air is much safer and will make it a lot easier for you to try outplaying an opponent at close range, as if you land it as low as possible against shield, you'll normally be able to either shield and try punishing out of shield, or spot dodge and punish the opponent for trying to grab you, making it a bit of a 50-50. However, if you slightly space yourself to the left or right of the shield, it'll make it even safer, as well as it allows you to dash away right after a land at neutral air, and you'll be able to mix up with anything to keep your opponent out. Anyways, neutral air, forward air, and back air can not only be landed to pressure the ground, they can also be done quickly with a short hop. These short hop quick aerials will mostly be done to call out short hops, or done out of shield to quickly punish an opponent. You can also full hop and use these aerials, which will be used to call out full hops. So basically, if you land an aerial and predict a full hop out of shield, you can try to deny it with your sword. Or if you predict an opponent to approach you from a full hop, you can also try to full hop and neutral air to try covering that area really quickly and fluently, as neutral air won't have a lot of lag and will even allow you to do 2 neutral airs in 1 full hop. You won't be able to do a full hop forward air or back air into a second aerial, but if you jump and double jump really quickly, you'll be able to forward air or back air and still land with neutral air in case you need to keep up the pressure or trap landings in case someone tried air dodging your aerials. Being able to perform all of these aerials easily is important for his combo game as well, since you'll mostly be starting combos with a landing neutral air, which you'll transition into short hop aerials, full hop aerials, and even jump double jump aerials. Neutral air combos won't just get started off of landing it, however, while short hopping and buffering a neutral air while fast falling perfectly will also start combos, as well as full hop neutral air anti-airs will also start combos, and even allow you to read jumps right after. Typically, you should be DIing away these combos, which will prevent him from getting more neutral airs, but it'll still allow him to just finish things off with back air or forward air. You'll also start combos with down throw, back throw, and up throw. Down throw at low percents leading into short hop forward air, full hop forward air if they DI up, or dash attack if they DI down. On a few characters, you might even get down throw into neutral airs. Down throw to back air can work occasionally as well as you perform it perfectly. Back throw leading into short hop back air. till higher percents where it can lead into full hop back air or jump double jump back air, if they DI in towards you, meaning naturally they'll want to DI away to prevent this combo. And up throw at low percents can lead into full hop neutral air, which can extend into double jump neutral air if they don't respect you. Or you can do a jump double jump neutral air and land with up air if they don't respect you either by jumping away. Up throw to up tilt can work unless they DI away, which is why jumping with neutral air is preferred, as it'll work against any kind of DI. If there's a platform above you, you could always use this to extend your combo even further. Balancing your focus on these three moves is important, and the faster your opponent is, the more you might have to play with neutral airs to pressure the ground and the air, and swing your sword more so when it's appropriate rather than force it and tunnel vision on it. This will also allow you to land and grab, since it'll naturally condition shields, as well as dash grabs. The rest of your toolkit are more so there to complement how you condition the opponent to play through spacing these moves. Dash attack and down tilt are burst options to whiff punish and catch landings, dash attack being more committal, meaning it's more for killing or simple tech chasing, while down tilt is less committal as it can cross up shield and set up into juggles. You can also choose to simply forward tilt to pressure or dash away and try zoning the opponent out with a forward tilt if you predict an approach and know where they will end up. Up air will mainly be for catching landings and beating double jumps once you read where they will be double jumping, as catching a single double jump with up air will make it so much harder for most characters to try landing against Sephiroth. So, for example, if you down tilt and predict a jump, you should be using a full hop double jump up air to beat it, and then it's just a process of catching landings with either more up airs, a dash attack, tilt, or smash attack if you feel really confident. Obviously, if they drift off stage to get to the ledge, you can also try to challenge with forward air and even counter to deny them back to stage. Most of the time they will be opting for a double jump, as mashing an attack after down tilt can easily get you hit by a sword attack, a quick full hop neutral air, or a dash away to dash attack. As well as air dodging will be close to useless. As for down air, not only will it be used to try two-framing recoveries with good timing, but it's also something that'll hit below a platform to catch an opponent off guard. Otherwise, it'll just be used as a rare landing mix-up, especially when launched really high up, as you'll be able to act out before landing. Its last use will be really important as well, and it's to use it after a footstool out of shield to hard punish opponents hitting your shield way too closely, as typically you won't have anything else to hard punish close range pressure, unless you parry and up tilt, since it scoops in front. This move is also really simple and will literally just be there as a read against jumps straight above you, as well as pressuring platforms. And finally, there's jab, which is just a get off me option that'll set up for a tech situation. The only other form of tech setup that you'll be setting up will be with forward throw mix-ups, the close range of forward tilt, or the close range of back air, or by hitting the sour spot of forward air. Otherwise, tech chases will mostly only happen if there are platforms that you end up launching opponents onto. Stage control will be the main thing that you play on. You have to consider pressuring your shield safely as valuable as hitting the opponent, as it's always about trying to outplay and react to what the opponent tends to do next to get into close range. You want to understand that at this point you can always choose to follow up with something low committal and keep holding stage, or something high committal to call out the opponent on what they typically do or what you think they'll be doing. So, for example, you can land something like an aerial and choose to dash away and jump for more landed aerials if you know the opponent will try to push in to keep yourself safe. And if they didn't push in, you can still try to defend yourself. But once you know they'll push in, you can also try committing a bit harder by directly challenging them with a dash grab, tilts, neutral air, dash attack, and even down smash depending on the read that you have and the speed of the opponent. Just keep in mind that the down smash won't break a shield if you don't hit the ground with it. Shadow Flare can be a really good tool here where you predict opponents dashing in, as it's relatively safe from a distance and will stop the opponent in their track, while also conditioning more jumps and shields over time. The opponent might also just jump to try getting into the middle or work around your sword, which you can simply play against by trying to dash around and catch a landing, or outspace a landing with something like a back air or retreating up air, which will basically just safely cover the jump in while you keep yourself safe, as well as you can commit a bit more by calling it out directly in the air once you feel like you have a good read on them. The opponent might also choose to simply play patient and potentially shield some more. Of course, you can potentially try to break their shield, but you can always jump and keep pressuring them, or faking them out with a projectile so they maybe jump. Or you can choose to call them out and dash grab. Either way, staying patient and mixing up your timing of when you shield, jump, or dash in will be incredibly important, as it's not just about which option you choose, but when. Making the appropriate read or reacting correctly to try covering each moment is not only necessary, but basically where Sephiroth will be extremely rewarding. The better you become at anti-airing jumps with full hop neutral air or reverse up airs, and pressure shield from a distance with forward air and back air, the more you'll get to play on using your shadow flare from a distance as a conditioning tool. As long as the opponent you're playing up against isn't faster and more mobile than you, then you'll have to rely less on shadow flare. Something else is that clanking with the shadow flare can also be beneficial for you, as the lag gives you an opener. His ledge trapping can also be rough to deal with, being able to back air or forward air to keep you out, down tilt or down smash to punish you for stalling or two framing or recovery, and even try hitting neutral air to score a kill. The roughest part is when he has time to set up for his Mega Flare or Giga Flare perfectly, and you have to choose between a perfectly timed regular getup or release the ledge and re-grab, which is extremely risky. However, if he's a bit too late on one of these setups, you might be able to ledge jump while pressing air dodge and still punish him. But if he cancels and uses an aerial to call you out, you'll be off stage against him, which can be really painful. You could try to roll to get around the explosion, but it can be really easily covered with neutral air. But for a few characters with really good air mobility, you might be able to double jump in and use neutral air dodge to get past it as well. Either way, it'll be all about timing. Even if you sometimes time your regular getup perfectly, he'll still be able to dash in and grab you for it, or try breaking it, as well as he might just hit you with a perfectly timed back air to simply kill you as well, or just punish you if he knows what you'll do after you've blocked one of his attacks. Finally, Sephiroth will also have a decent ledge mix-up. Not only can he double jump in and forward air to hit his opponents jumping from far away, but he can also use up air to hit opponents above him, as well as ledge jump and neutral air to hit them jumping above him as well. He also has the mix-up to release the ledge and press forward air to cling to the stage, and then choose between pressing down or away to fall down from it, or press jump or up to launch yourself up, and then use your double jump mix-ups to try getting around him. Thank you guys for watching. Keep in mind that videos such as Art of Ike, Lucina, and the IzAwSmash series will also help out a ton in learning how to play Sephiroth. If you want to support my work, you can always go to my Patreon and help me out there. And to all my Patreons, thank you so much for all the support. And come by my Twitch if you ever want to see me live. I stream almost every day from 3 PM to 9 PM EST. Anyways, thank you, and I'll see you guys next time.